Good evening. In today's session, we are going to discuss regarding one very important act, at the same time, a very controversial act. That is AFSPA. It stands for Armed Forces Special Power Act, and this act came into the picture in the year 1958. Please remember the year. It came into operation in the year 1958 through an ordinance by the president. But before 1958 also, this act was existing. In reality, this act came into the picture in 1948, and that act was supposed to continue for a period of 1 year, but periodically it was extended, and finally 1948 act was repealed in the year 1957, and again there was a fresh demand for that type of act. That is the reason why Armed Forces Special Power Act has come into the picture again in the year 1958, and even today also it is continuing. This is a very important act to deal with the terrorism that is present in India, to deal with the terrorists that are operating against India. But at the same time, this act has become a highly controversial one, because this act is giving extraordinary powers to the army people, and because of any reason, if any civilian, any innocent person dies also because of the operation of the army, no case can be registered against them, and no proceedings will take place against them, because the main intention of the army is to deal with the terrorism. So during this fight, sometimes some innocent lives may be going away, they may be taken away. But the point is that how far is it justified? On the name of dealing with the terrorism, if there is a loss of any innocent life, don't you have the responsibility? For example, here, just one example, let me tell you. It happened very recently in Nagaland. It happened on December 4th, 2021. In Bochap military operation, 14 civilians have died. 14 civilians. Is it not the painful thing? So these are all the innocent, these are all the civilians, but they were taken very wrongly by the military, and these people have died. That is the reason why again there is a demand in India that this particular act has to be repealed. For that matter, few years back, Justice BP Jeevan Reddy Commission was appointed to look into whether this particular act should be continued or not, and that commission recommended for the repealing of this act, because it is giving extraordinary powers to the army where there is no answerability of the army. That is the reason why this is again very much there in the news. So now I am going to open the document. We are going to discuss regarding the background. What is AFSPA? What are the powers that are given? And who can invoke? How long it can be in operation? And so what is the main aim of this one? And why there is an opposition against this particular law? Why the people are demanding for repealing this particular act? We are going to discuss each and every point in this topic. Kindly stay tuned. I am opening the document here. Here it is. The topic is AFSPA. It stands for Armed Forces Special Power Act. Very, very, very important one. The killing of 14 civilians in a botched military operation in Nagaland has led to fresh calls for repealing Armed Forces Special Power Act. Very, very important one. This is a stringent law. This is a stringent law, and this law allows the armed forces. Look at the points very clearly and carefully. This act is a stringent one. This is permitting the armed forces to use maximum force in an area which is declared as a disturbed area. Disturbed area is that area where there is no proper law and order. Law and order has been disturbed. Peaceful living has been disturbed. In those cases, a particular area can be declared as disturbed. That particular area can be a village, can be a district, can be entire state, or some parts in one state and some parts in the other state. Meaning, in any area can be declared as the disturbed area. Clear? And what happened? Following the incident of December 4th, 2021, the demand for repealing this act has increased. Very, very important one. 14 civilians have died. And in fact, this is the demand even by Nagaland and Meghalaya chief ministers also. Very, 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 very important one. Meaning there is a large section in the society, including the chief ministers of Meghalaya and Nagaland, who are demanding for repealing this controversial act, which is giving special powers to armed forces in a disturbed area. Now, let me tell you about the background of this particular act. What is the origin? Origin, it was in 1947. Look at this very carefully. In 1947, India got independence. There was a partition. During the partition time, there were riots, right? Meaning so many disturbances have been taken place during that time. At the time, 4 ordinances were promulgated. You know what is the meaning of the ordinance. Clear? 4 ordinances were promulgated, and the first was the Bengal Disturbed Areas Special Powers of Armed Forces Ordinance. Clear? Out of 4, this is one, and this followed by ordinances of Assam, East Punjab and Delhi, and United Provinces. Clear? 4 ordinances have been promulgated. Later, all these were replaced by a common legislation in the year 1948. Clear? And it is called Armed Forces Special Powers Act. Please remember, whatever the act we have today, that act came into the year in the year 1958. But I am talking about 1947, and I am also discussing with you regarding the year 1948. Meaning the origin of AFSPA is from the time of the partition. 1948 Act was supposed to continue for 1 year, but it was repealed after a long period of 9 years, that is in the year 1957. Later what happened? The President of India promulgated armed forces, and it was for Assam and Manipur. And this ordinance was issued in May 1958. Later what happened? It was subsequently replaced by an Act of Parliament, initially known as the Armed Forces Assam and Manipur Special Powers Act of 1958. And later the same act was adopted by, after the creation of the new states called Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland and Tripura. Meaning the entire northeast has been covered under this particular act. Clear? Very, 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 very important. Kindly remember, whenever we are discussing about any topic, knowing the background will facilitate for better understanding of the subject. Look at this. What are all the parts that are covered under AFSPA? Look at this. It is in force for decades in most part of the northeastern states. That is the reason why in other areas we don't see. We'll see in Jammu and Kashmir area, and we'll see in the northeastern states. Clear? So, under this law, an area can be declared a disturbed area. Very, very, very important one. So, if you want to declare an area under disturbed area, you are invoking AFSPA, right? Thereby, what is happening? You are bringing into play the protection it offers to armed forces for the use of force in the notified area. Meaning, under this particular act, once you declare an area as a disturbed area, you are giving enormous powers to the army people, so that their entire force will come into the picture in that notified area, right? And this notification is extended periodically and generally for 6 months at a time. Sometimes it may be 1 year also. And currently, meaning as of now, the whole of Assam and the whole of Nagaland are the disturbed areas. Very, very, very important one. And the last 6 months extension was made on August 28th and June 30th respectively. The whole of Manipur, with the exception of Imphal municipal area, has been notified by the state government for 1 year from December 2020. Meaning, either you can declare entire state as a disturbed area, or only few areas can be declared as disturbed areas. Very, 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 very important. So kindly remember, entire state need not be declared, right? And wherever you are declaring, only in that particular area, you are giving powers to the more powers to army. In Arunachal Pradesh, disturbed area notification. Look at this very carefully. Even in Arunachal Pradesh, you have the disturbed areas, and according to the notification, the disturbed area in Arunachal Pradesh is confined to the districts of Tirap, Changlang, Longding, and the areas falling under Namsai and Mahadevpur police station, which is bordering Assam. Meaning, I want you to understand very clearly, very closely, that the entire state need not be notified as disturbed area. Only few parts can also be declared as disturbed areas. Clear? And this act was revoked in Tripura in May 2015, right? After being in force since February 1997. Meaning Tripura is free now. It was revoked by a decision of the state cabinet following the substantial improvement in the ground situation. And if you look at this similarly, Meghalaya was under this for 27 years until it was revoked from April 1st, 2018. Very, 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 very important one. And with respect to Jammu and Kashmir, it had a separate act called Jammu and Kashmir Armed Forces Special Power Act, and which came into existence in the year 1990. Very, 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 very important one. So, what are the powers that you are giving here? This act is empowering the governor of any state or administrator of a union territory or the central government to notify the parts of or the whole state or a union territory as a disturbed area. What is the meaning here? Who can declare an area as a disturbed area? Either it is by the governor of a state or administrator of a union territory or the central government. But why they are declaring it as a disturbed area? If they consider that the condition in such areas is very dangerous and disturbed, that the use of the armed forces is necessary in aid of the civil power. Very, very, very important one. So only after thorough calculation, thorough understanding, if the respective authority feels that there is a necessity to declare an area as a disturbed area, if it is so dangerous, then only this particular provision will be invoked. Am I clear? Very, very, very important one. And in such a notified area, what happens? In such notified areas, any officer of the armed forces, look at here, the biggest problem is here. Any officer of the armed forces may fire upon or use force even to the point of causing death. This is the biggest issue here. Against any person for the maintenance of the public order. On the name of the maintenance of the public order, army officer can use the fire, meaning they can go for firing, or using such force. If it leads to death of a person also, that is allowed. This is the biggest controversy here. But what is expected is that it must be done after giving due warning, and the target must be a person who is contravening any law. Meaning, there is a provision that you cannot use such force against anyone just like that. Only when the army is 100% sure that a particular person is contravening the law, violating the law, then only you can use it. Or if anybody is violating any order, right? So like in disturbed areas, there is a prohibition of the assembly, meaning gathering of the people. 5 or more people, if they are gathering at one particular place, if they are carrying weapons, firearms or ammunition, then action can be taken against them. Clear? Very, very, very important one. And the act also allowing the authorities to search of any premises without a warrant. Basically, what will happen? If you want to come and search any premises, first of all, search warrant has to be issued. But whereas in this notified area, whereas in this disturbed area, no such warrant is required. Clear? Very, very important. And the recovery of any confined person or any arms and ammunition stored unlawfully, they can be recovered under this law. Armed forces may also destroy any hideout. Okay, they are fine, right? They destroy any hideout or arms dump or fortified area or shelter from which armed forces attacks are being launched or any arms training is being carried out. Kindly remember, the essence must be understood very clearly. This is for the restoration of the law and order in any disturbed area. But the basic problem is that is leading to the deaths of the civilians, where the army men are not being punished. Clear? And if you look at the last one, no person can be prosecuted or subjected to any legal proceedings for the actions taken under the act without central government's previous sanction. Meaning no action can be taken against. If you want to take action, permission has to be granted by the central government. Clear? Now the last point here, why do many demand its repeal? Detractors and human rights organizations as well as many sections of the civil society argue that the act encourages impunity and is the cause of many instances of excesses. Very, 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 very important one. All the students who are preparing for the civil service main examination or group 1 main examination, I want you to understand this particular point very clearly. There is a serious demand for repealing AFSPA because this act encourages the impunity, and this act is the cause of the many instances of excesses and atrocities committed by the armed forces under its protective cover. This is the basic reason why there is a huge demand that this particular law has to be repealed. Clear? Look at this. So one of the very, very important person here, Iram Shanu Sharmila. She is from Manipur and she became an iconic figure, and I am very sure that every one of you knows this, symbolizing the struggle against AFSPA. And she went for indefinite fast in the year 2000 and she ended only in the year 2016, meaning for 16 years she was under indefinite fast. Why? To fight against AFSPA, and the demand is only one: repeal AFSPA, right? And if you look at the year 2005, Dr. Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister of India. Government appointed a 5-member committee, and that committee was headed by a retired judge of the Supreme Court by name Justice BP Jeevan Reddy. Very, very popular personality, right? Very renowned retired judge of Supreme Court. And that committee recommended that AFSPA should be repealed. Very, very, very important one. They will ask you in the examination, which committee recommended for the repeal of AFSPA, and your answer should be 5-member committee headed by BP Jeevan Reddy. Very, very, very important. And the committee also suggested that after repealing this one, you can amend Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, so that what will happen? You can deal effectively with the terrorism. And it made this recommendation because BP Jeevan Reddy committee felt that AFSPA created an impression that the people of the northeast states were being targeted for hostile treatment. Clear? But when it comes to army, it has been resolutely opposed to repeal AFSPA. Very, 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 very important. So kindly remember this one. So this is a very important topic that we have discussed. And whenever you come across with this AFSPA in the newspaper, please read it thoroughly. If any additional points are there, please add the same to your notes. Thank you so much for being with me, and I'll see you in the next session.